Hey, shalom, shalom, manak na waha bar shala walakim la'atam. Call shabuai baharakha wa kakshaw Yahweh bahasham Yahushua ma'amat, which is truly. Hey, with the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out through the spirit and power of Yahweh bahasham Yahushua, to preach to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, and Israelite foreigners. Nachamatam kaya malakwat hashamayim kwara, repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Call Layim La, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushua, Bahasham, Cha, Kodash, Wamashana, Kabadim Zakoyim, Nawo, Wamalakim, Shaw Yashala Zakoyim, Cha, Gadawa, Wachasa, Washalam, Wabarakim, Laha, Bacharim, Shawha, Gawayash, Shalom. So all praise to the Most High Yahweh, which means he exists. Bahasham, by the name Yahushua, he delivers. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Israel, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, mercy, peace, and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom, which means peace. This is the Holyum, also Psalm chapter 62. And we'll get verse 4. It says, they only consult to cast him down from his excellency. They delight in lies, they bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly. All right, so I just want to go into this. It says they only consult to cast him down from his excellency. Now let's get this word for excellency. All right, and it reads, it says, Sha'ath. Sha'ath. It says elevation, exaltation, dignity, loftiness, swelling, uprising. All right, it says exaltation in rank or character be accepted. You see, because these nations know that us as a people, Yasha Allah, he prints power. All right, we are made contrary to their fashion. All right, which it mentions in Wisdom of Solomon. Let's get that. This is Chakamah Shalamah chapter 5, and we'll get Salak, gotta find it. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5. Salakia. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, Salak. Chapter 2 and verse 10, it says, let us oppress the poor righteous man. All right, what comes with this oppression? All right, casting down the excellency, because pretty much what makes us excellence is the us walking in the image of the Lord. You see, because we're the express image of the Lord. You see, it says, let us, so like we're the image of the Lord. You see, it says, let us oppress the poor righteous man, let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the aged. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous. All right, and how do they do? How do they lie in wait? They set traps. You know, Psalms 83 and 2. You know, also Psalms 21 and verse 11. You know, which we'll get out of through the Spirit. All right, Lord is willing. You see, but they lie in wait by setting traps. You know, they'll put drugs into the community. You know, they set up these different puppet leaders, rappers. You know, false prophets. You know, they'll put stuff in the food. That's how they lie in wait. It says, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with his offending the law. So he upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objecteth our infamy, the transgressings of our education. He professeth to have the knowledge of the Most High. He calleth himself the child of the Most High. He was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. Going back to the excellency, all right, we were made clean contrary to these other nations, chiefly Esau, Edom. All right, but the ways and the fashions that makes us excellent is the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, being at one with our power. It says they only consult to cast him down. All right, let's get this word for consult. All right, and it says Ya'itazah, to advise, give counsel, purpose, devise, plan, counsel. All right, we can get some precepts in that. Lord's willing. Hold on, Salak. I'm gonna go back to this, because that's the word I want to get as well. It says, where's it at? To conspire. All right, that's the biggest conspiracy theory. It said to conspire, Ya'itazah. All right, to consult. All right, and that word for excellency is Sha'ath. Or it says they delight in lies. All right, how did they delight in lies? Actually, let's get the precepts on that the first part. This is Psalms, the volume chapter 21. We'll get verse 11. It says, "For they intended evil against thee; they imagine a mischievous device which they are not able to perform." All right, you see, so Esau Edom was able to, this is going chiefly into his NWO. You see, but he felt as if you go to Psalms 49 and verse 11. They thought that their plan would ultimately be victorious in the end. They felt like it was gonna work forever. You see, but in the grand scheme of things, they're not able to perform that device. And what device is that? Destroying us forever. Now let's get another one. This is Psalms 83 and verse 1. It says, "Keep not thou silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones." All right, crafty counsel going back to consulting against our excellency. "They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." All right, and they also do this in every facet of life. If you even take like Ebonics, they'll turn that into, that's how we talk. You see, which it stems from the Hebrew, because we pretty much get straight to the point. So like a lot of times, we'll merge words together, and they call that Ebonics, but they look down on that when ultimately that's getting straight to the point. We can even see that in societies like Lacedaemonia or what they call Sparta. They would get straight to the point. They would call it like pithy, or like pithy remarks, just straight to the point. Not all the extra fillers is not necessary, but that's one way they would cast us down. Let's get Psalms 2 and verse 1. It says, "Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision." All right, so these heathen actually think that they're going to ultimately rule forever, but that's not the case. They got a small sliver of hope that they'll rule forever. All right, now let's get another one. Or let's go back to that Psalm 62. So it says, they delight in lies. All right, why do they delight in lies? This is Psalms chapter 10. We'll get verse 4. It says, "The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all of his thoughts." All right, and the ways of the Lord are true, righteous, and justice. You see, so they would rather take hold to the lies. They don't uphold anything that's righteous. All right, and that's why we go to scriptures like Isaiah 29 and 16, and also Job. Let's get that. Let's get Job 15, and we'll go down to verse 21. Salat should be 14. Oh no, Job 21. That's what it is. Job 21 and verse 15, it says, "What is the Almighty?" Verse 14, it says, "Therefore they say unto the Most High, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways." All right, what are the ways of the Lord? Again, righteousness, equity, truthfulness, fidelity. All of that is adverse to Esau Edom, because again, going back to Psalms chapter 10 and verse 4, it says, "The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all of his thoughts." All right, so he's in none of his thoughts. Every thought that the wicked has is adverse to the scriptures. All right, going back now, let's get Psalms, the volume chapter 62 and verse 4. It said, "They delight in lies." All right, because they had the whole world fooled. It said, roughly paraphrasing in Revelation, the devil would be loosed and then he'll deceive. So he delights in lies. It says they bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly. And how is this done? Let's get a couple precepts on that. This is the volume Psalm chapter 28, and we'll get verse 4. It says, "Give them according to the," verse 3, "draw me not away with the wicked, with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace with their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts." Now, personal experience, or secondhand experience. I used to be on the cop force, back when I was in the world, and a lot of times, you'll have different Edomite cops. They'll be like, they put on a persona of like they about their job, but truthfully, You know, they ultimately trying to see Jake. They trying to see Jake fall. You know, so a lot of times they pretty much, hey, they'll push like they'll be like, yeah, oh no, no, it's all good, but then they'll come back. Say they pull somebody over, they'll be like, oh, okay, no, I'm not trying to give you a ticket, nothing like that. But then in their minds, they're like, nah, like I'm gonna get his ass, and they come back and they're like, boom, hop out the car, blah blah blah, this, that, and the third. But truthfully, what they had in their minds was they wanted to set Jake up, and they used the these different they use these different ways of, like, different jobs, different opportunities to do that, i.e. the military, law enforcement, regular jobs. They use those particular, if they're in a place of supervision, they use that to push forward their enterprise, to further oppress Jake. They like to pull rank a lot, so to speak, But nevertheless, continuing on, Psalms 28:4 says, "Give them according to their deeds and according to the wickedness of their endeavors. Give them after the work of their hands. Render to them their desert." But just a point I want to get out of verse 3 was, "Speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts." And they do this in the military, the cops, wherever, But they did this to Gad. They say, "Hey, we got this peace treaty," but never kept their end of the deal. They would always break their word. This is Psalms, the volume 55, and verse 21. It reads. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. You see, so truthfully, Esau Edom is all about deception. He's always going to give you this persona that he's humbling himself. He just like you. He's cool. Oh no, you're cool too. Like he always give you. He always give you that look. But truthfully, when you turn your back, he got a sword behind his, This is Psalms 62 and verse 4. It says, "They bless with their mouth, speaking peace to their neighbor, but they curse inwardly," because truthfully, they, going back to Genesis, they have a vendetta, or not a vendetta, they have a grudge against the 12 tribes, Jacob. You see, so I just wanted to go into that. This was an addition of Pakwawad Achad, which is one precept. And again, it was Psalms 62 and verse 4, the volume 62 and 4. Hey, so Adawan Tazah Banayapa, Lord's will, that was a beautiful edification through the Spirit. Wa Adawan Tazah, Adam Yashi Wam Tawab. Hey, Lord's will, you have a good day. Hey, shalom, shalom.